sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super police, just be trying to have fun.
If Busta ever try to front me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Should have with that 9 million, but the devil, yo. Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now.
I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us.
So Busta Rhymes is fuming right now, and allegedly he's out here threatening 50 Cent over some incriminating footage that's about to drop in 50's upcoming Diddy documentary. Now, we already know that 50 has been collecting receipts on Diddy and his FO parties for years, but what's got Busta so bothered is the fact that sources are saying there's actual footage of him deep in the mix with Diddy, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. A few months ago, Busta's ex-bodyguard, Big Homie CC, came out claiming that Busta had a taste for fun boys for years, and apparently the club scene always knew what was up. According to Big Homie, club promoters would line up young men specifically to keep Busta entertained in VIP whenever he came through. And now, it's looking like 50 Cent might have the receipts to back it all up. Sources close to the situation are saying there's footage from a party showing Busta and Diddy in a full-blown freak-off with multiple men who are believed to be ex-workers that Diddy hired. But hold up, there's more. Multiple men are now stepping forward, claiming that Busta allegedly made inappropriate advances toward them. And these guys are saying that whenever they cross paths with Busta, he was constantly trying to get them to party with him, Diddy style. At this point, it's starting to feel like Busta might be the next one to get fully exposed. And with 50 producing this Netflix documentary, Busta's threats aren't gonna do much. If anything, he probably just secured himself a bigger role in 50's film. So what's really going on here? Why is Busta panicking all of a sudden? And what does 50 Cent have on him that's making him crash out? Let's break this down.
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth.
With all the drama and accusations flying around Busta Rhymes, you already know 50 Cent wasn't gonna stay quiet. Before he hit the stage with Busta at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Fest, 50 was worried Busta might pop out in something like that infamous yellow outfit from the 1999 MTV VMAs. He even posted a photo of Busta in that wild yellow getup and said, "Busta cannot wear this to Humor Harmony. Busta, I don't care who made the outfit. You gotta come with some fly-ish to Shreveport. LOL." But then Busta clapped back and shared this AI-generated photo of 50 with the caption, "I keep telling y'all the blessings don't stop, so we ain't never gonna stop. I thought it was Father's Day, 50 Cent, and you out here looking like this. Don't let me find out this, how you be in the mirror preparing your look for Shreveport." Now back then, it seemed like 50 and Busta were just trolling each other. But now sources are saying 50 was dead serious and he might actually have some wild footage of Busta with Diddy. But before we get into that, we gotta talk about those allegations about fun boys in Busta's VIP section. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Busta's ex-bodyguard, Big Homie CC, recently sat down with the Art of Dialogue and straight up called Busta a super zest monster, claiming that Busta's been moving real suspect around young men for years. According to Big Homie, this has been one of those industry open secrets, especially among club promoters. And allegedly, anytime Busta was booked for a party, promoters already knew the vibes. They had to make sure his VIP was stocked with some entertainment.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that.
Big Homie also spilled on a wild night in the club with actor-model Don Benjamin and one of Don's friends, a gay man. And according to Big Homie, the second Busta Rhymes locked eyes on this man, it was go time. He said Busta wasted zero time and snatched the dude into his VIP section. And get this, he wouldn't let him leave. Big Homie claimed Busta was all over that man the whole night, making sure he stayed close. And apparently this wasn't even a one-off. Big Homie said club promoters already knew the drill. Whenever Busta pulled up, they had to round up the finest men for his section because once he locked in on somebody, it was a wrap.
Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. But I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
Big Homie also claimed Busta was all over that man, calling him cute all night. And once he had him in VIP, that man wasn't going anywhere.
So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around, like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
Pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy, he couldn't believe that. He was shocked.
Now here's where it gets even wilder. According to Big Homie, the industry's been hip to Busta's real preferences for over a decade. And when asked why nobody's ever exposed him, Big Homie said it's simple. Everybody wants to be in that VIP section with Busta. But then Big Homie dropped another bombshell that doesn't get nearly enough attention, Busta's alleged history of putting his hands on women. And he hinted there might be a deeper reason for it. See, according to Big Homie, like a lot of DL men, Busta might be carrying some resentment toward women.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro, most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't wanna be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get a girl. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of. Oh God, seen it.
But if you think this is just one bodyguard stirring the pot for clout, think again. A whole lineup of men has come forward with their own wild Busta stories. Back in 2020, social media personality Trip Ali hopped on YouTube and claimed Busta tried to pick him up in NYC while he was heading to a Halloween party.
I'm walking, New York City, you know, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, you know, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. Friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here, so the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, you know, looking around, you know, looked at me, you know, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand.
Trip said Busta personally invited him to VIP, and at first he thought it was just a regular club situation. However, things were about to get a lot more interesting than he expected.
He says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. You know, we got a section. You know, you can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, you know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists of all time.
So things took a wild turn when Trip got into a heated argument with his friend who wasn't down with the idea of sliding to Busta's party. The argument got so crazy, it turned into a full-on fight. Trip was so shaken that he scrapped the whole club plan. Plus his friend was on one and ended up leaving him stranded in the middle of NYC. But honestly, that might have been a blessing in disguise, because who knows what could have gone down if he had made it to Busta's VIP. Now fast forward to 2021 and the streets started talking again that Busta was back outside, allegedly trying to pick up men. And to make things even messier, paparazzi supposedly caught him leaving a gay pride event with a trans woman. And it doesn't stop there. Just recently, Orlando Brown had the internet in shambles again after claiming he smashed multiple industry men. Not just Diddy, but Busta, and a whole lineup of others.
We made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you seen Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not naming?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer.
Now, I know most people don't take Orlando too seriously when he starts ranting like this, but if you pay attention to some of his more recent interviews where he seems way more clear-headed, you might start to notice he's actually making a lot of sense.
A documentary comes out called Quiet on Set.
I never had to work for Nickelodeon. I work for Disney. We don't do those things.
Oh man, not the exhale.
Well, shout out to Nick Cannon. I won't do his money like that. What I will do is I'll say that the owner of Nickelodeon is Jeffrey Epstein. The guy that they've been trying to follow. And okay, now look at the characteristics of everything they said, and then look at everything that he did. I'm not gonna do that to Nick's money though. That's my brother. Like, I'm not doing that to Tito.
Now, Busta possibly being on the DL is one thing, but what really needs to be talked about is how, just like Diddy, he's got a shady history of putting his hands on people over the pettiest things. His legal troubles go way back to 2006 when the prosecutors tried to hit him with a weapons charge over an incident with a random passerby. And get this, according to Billboard, they claimed Busta had a whole machete stashed in his ride. Now, fast forward to 2007 and Busta was back in trouble. This time he got arrested on a misdemeanor for allegedly roughing up his former driver over a money dispute. He eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and ended up with 3 years of probation. But the mess didn't stop there. In 2009, the New York Post exposed that Busta had to cough up $75,000 to a fan who claimed Busta launched water bottles at him and had his bodyguard punch him in the face. And get this, the fan said all he did was try to leave Busta's show before it finished. The man explained that he pulled up hoping to see Fabulous, but when Fab didn't show, he stood up to head out while Busta was finishing his set. That's when Busta snapped, allegedly yelling, "Get down, I'm not good enough for you?" before throwing 2 more water bottles at him and allegedly directing his bodyguard to punch him. So knowing Busta's wild temper, it's no surprise he's been so close with Diddy since the 90s. But besides their shared anger issues, these two allegedly have something else in common, a taste for much younger men. And let's be real, Busta's whole stance on this Diddy situation is looking very suspicious. See, when the allegations against Diddy first started bubbling, Busta jumped out to tell fans they should reserve opinions.
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. I don't really like to speak on situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this. People don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is.
Have you had the chance to speak to Diddy?
I spoke to him a few times before, like, it got a little out of control. A lot of the times when people are going through things, you gotta respect the space and the privacy that they need to process how they're gonna deal with the things that they're going through. I just wanna see the right end result for everyone.
Now, why would you even feel the need to say that unless you were low-key defending somebody? Also, when we're talking about DVSA and allegedly multiple victims, including young ones, telling people to mind their business makes you look real suspect. But fast forward to now that the Diddy scandal has completely exploded with federal raids, multiple lawsuits, and finally an official indictment. And all of a sudden, Busta is acting like he never knew Diddy. Now, Busta might be dodging questions and acting clueless now, but let's be real. He won't be able to ignore this for much longer because the streets are saying 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy documentary is about to name names, including Busta Rhymes. And if there's one thing we know about 50, it's that he never forgets. He's one of the rare rappers who flat out refused to party with Diddy, and he caught on early to the shady business that was happening behind closed doors.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, you know, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s, and Keefy D said he paid him to Tupac.
Yeah.
It's a little, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries, they went to Tubi, but The series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
But C, 50 has always been a man who moves strategically. And just because he wasn't in the mix doesn't mean he wasn't paying attention. You already know he was watching from the sidelines, taking mental notes on every rapper who said yes to Diddy's invitations. And now, 50's time has finally come to expose everything. Sources are now saying this upcoming documentary on Diddy is about to be the industry's worst nightmare, and nobody is safe. The streets have been whispering for years about certain rappers who allegedly freaked off with Diddy, and according to insiders, Busta Rhymes' name is definitely on that list. Now, we still don't have an official release date for 50's documentary, but what we do know is that it is being produced by G-Unit Films and Television Inc. and is set to drop on Netflix. We also know it's being directed by Alex Stapleton, an Emmy award-winning filmmaker and executive producer, which means this is going to be high-quality, no-nonsense storytelling. And here's where it gets even messier. Busta apparently already knows what's coming. Sources close to him are saying that he's been trying to pull some strings behind the scenes, even warning 50 to keep his name out of the documentary. But let's be honest, Busta's warnings probably just made 50 double down. And if you know anything about 50, then you already know that he thrives on proving a point. The more you try to silence him, the harder he comes for you. So if Busta really is on that list, there's no way 50 is cutting him out now. Now the real question is, what is Busta so worried about? If there's nothing to hide, why not just ignore it and keep it moving? So let me know what you think about all this. Is Busta really involved in Diddy's mess, or is his name just being thrown around? And more importantly, do you think 50 Cent's documentary is about to shake the industry to its core? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss out on this next video.